Hey everyone, welcome back to Bros and Shows. I'm your host, Josiah, aka Mauler67. And with me, as always, I got my buddy, I got my pal, I got my brother Austin. Austin, how you doing today?
Um, not doing too bad.
Not doing too bad. That sounds like actually pretty horrible.
No,
What the heck?
I'm doing fine. I'm in a little bit of pain, but that's it. We're good.
I'm owed. Not doing so
I'm
great.
old.
No, that's good to hear, man. Was it what was funny to me is we were like, we're going to do next week, and then we ended up not doing the next week, and then we had everything going on with like holidays and everything. So we're here. Just have a 2-week vacation earlier than what we thought we would, but that's how life happens. But Austin, happy holidays, happy end of the days, end of year, enjoy it while it lasts, type deal thing, you know, all that beautiful stuff. Austin, how was your week, man? Or weeks, I guess.
Weeks. It's been pretty good. Not too bad. We had Christmas together. That was a lot of fun. And then also, I had Christmas with my mother-in-law and father-in-law. Had a lot of fun. Realized something really funny. If you put something on your list on Amazon, you should actually take it off as soon as possible once it's been fulfilled, because other people have probably bought it, or they bought it before you took it off the list, which I was like, crap. So yeah, I have multiple things right now.
Multiple return policies now.
Yeah, multiple returns. And then this weekend I went up to Kent to see my buddy Mikey, my wife's cousin, and we went up there because I was having problems with my guitar that I purchased from Amazon. And I was like, hey, it's a beginner guitar. I'm trying to like figure out what's going on. And I took it to Woodsy's up in Kent, Ohio, and the guy's like, how much you pay for this? And I was like, 125. And he's like, it's going to be 9 of those to fix what's wrong. And I was like, whoa, what? And he's like, see the neck? And then he showed me the neck, and the neck was like this. And he's like, that buzzing you're hearing is because the neck is bowed. He's like, it's warped. He's like, it sounds like to me that you got like something from a warehouse that's just been sitting there forever. And I was like, oh. And he's like, if I could return it, I would return it to Amazon. And I was like, yeah, I'm returning it. So I got myself a new guitar, which, that's why I'm in pain. My fingers are like hurting, they're throbbing, because we've been playing all weekend, me and Mikey. So he's been super excited. I've been learning like certain songs that I've been wanting to learn for a while now as a kid, and like stuff like that. So like me and him went back and forth. Excuse me. Like he was like, hey, if this is an easy song, I'm going to learn it. If it's an easy song, let's learn it. And I'm like, okay. And so we learned about
everything was the easy song.
Yeah. We learned about 5 to 6 songs. And he's super excited because like his favorite one of our favorite artists, he was intimidated by like him, and I was like, hey, like most of his songs are only 4 chords, right? And he just does the hammer-on twang, and he's like, no way. So I showed him like the 3 songs that he loves, and he's like, he played one of them. Like his fingers were hurting, like you could see like they were cut and stuff, and he's still playing it because he was so happy to learn that song. And he was like, no, I just need to get the rhythm down so that like I can sing it. And I was like, yeah, there you go, buddy. So his hands were bleeding almost, and my hands are like that too. Oh my gosh, like I like shaved tonight, and I like put my hands in warm water, and it burned because it was just so like rough, and I was like, ow.
That's pretty intense, man.
Yeah, so we're having a lot of fun. The guitar is great. I love my new guitar. It's so much fun. Now I'm thinking about like getting a harmonica now, so like I can mix those 2 combos. Yeah, I know. I bought you a harmonica a long time ago. That, and I'm thinking about a uke now because a lot of people are asking me to play the uke. So I might do that. And I've seen
I couldn't grab the harmonica instantly, so that's my bad.
I've seen people like when I went up to that Woodsy's, they got really good, nice like ukuleles for like $150, and I was like, man, I'm thinking about getting a uke because one, I can play. I already know one song on guitar, but it's purposely meant to be played on ukulele. That's how it was played, and that's Riptide by Vance Joy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a huge song, and it's a ukulele song. So I was like, huh, that'd be kind of cool.
Just know
Like do
that the
some Stevie Nicks
ukulele
stuff.
is completely different than
Yeah,
the
yeah. So
guitar.
like the
But
chords that are still used on the guitar
yeah,
are
yeah. Well,
are
it's
modified on the guitar because of how many chords a
well
6 string compared to a 4 string.
also to be fair,
Or 3 string. I don't remember.
ukulele is not hard to learn. Like whenever I picked it up, I watched like a couple videos and then I realized I'm like, I don't even need to watch videos. There's a website, I'm not sure if it's still active, I would have to go to it, called like ultimateukulele.com, and it had chords for every
Yeah.
single song, and it also showed you the finger like arrangement for each one.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to like watch a video or like learn it, you just had to like know how the song goes to kind of match it. And the best thing I learned from like shows and like YouTube shows, like like there's the one ukulele guitarist guy I follow. I haven't really watched any of his stuff, but he would just do like covers of songs, but he'd also teach you how to do those covers. And the thing that I learned the most from him was he taught you strum patterns, which are very important for the ukulele because that completely changes the stylization of the song. Where like most songs have like a do 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 kind of thing, or guitars like do 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 do. It's sometimes just like up up down down up up down, and it's like all these different things. And so it's really good. And whenever he does covers of songs that don't have ukulele strings naturally, he'll like create his own strum for it to make it sound correct. So I appreciate that the most. All right. No, that's good to hear, man. It sounds like you had fun. I had a good time. I told you the one thing that I did earlier, so I'm not going to repeat that. But yeah, no, I've been just kind of playing games, doing my own thing. I got a game on my phone at work one day, and I showed Jordan it, and then Jordan bought the game on his phone, and we've been kind of obsessively playing it at work during downtime, and that's Balatro is on phone.
I knew I was gonna do it.
So yeah, no,
Oh,
it's over. It was only like $10,
Yeah,
and it plays really well on the phone.
It does. Play really well on the phone.
And what's great for that is that I can play it anywhere versus like if I buy it on Steam, where I can only play it on my either Steam Deck or my computer. So yeah, I've been playing a lot of Balatro, and then at work I forgot we were doing a Secret Santa thing. I got the guy the Secret Santa gift because I didn't really know him too well. I bought him gift cards for some of the places that were near us at work, and he liked it. But the person who got me a gift, and I got it whenever I walked back into work. And so here, Austin, I have the gift that Mom got me, which I'm sure she got through help of you, which is the Magic the Gathering thing. I put Markov in here, which you have the little one, but I have the real one on the other side because I'm like, that fits perfectly for that. And she got me this one. It's the exact same one,
but
except
it's a double.
It's a single.
Oh,
It just has a bunch of stuff with it. Yeah, it has like area for dice. It has a dice tower area.
Yeah.
And then it has a single thing and not the back one. And I laughed so hard when I got this because she got it because Jordan told her that I would probably like it and whatnot. So I'm like, heck yeah. Combo pieces. Now I can show up to Magic the Gathering night, blinging out, all that good stuff. And so I was just kind of laughing. I'm like, dang, man, that's a solid coworker gift. I appreciate that. But yeah, other than that, just doing my hanging out, watching shows, playing games. So what can you do? You do what you gotta do whenever you're in this line of work. And Austin, speaking about line of work, we're going to talk about a show that is the definition of you do your job because, well, you gotta do your job. Austin, we're talking about Animal Control season 2. Austin, what did you think about Animal Control season 2?
Well, I will say that I do like this season a lot more than the first season. I will say that.
Yeah.
just because there's a lot more character development this season there was like first season.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they went through and did a couple episodes, you know, like there's like 2 characters from the first season that are like kind of dual like story because they're like doing that house. That's Patel and like Shred doing the house thing. So that was kind of fun. I will say it picked up a little bit more. I do like season 2 better. I think season 2 has better writing. The only weird thing about season 2 is like how it ends, like because it doesn't end like I think it was like how many episodes? I'm trying to think how many.
It was
episodes
9.
there was.
9 episodes.
Yeah, it was 9, and the season before was I think 12. So like I remember watching this, and I was watching this like as it came out. Like I like, you know, it was just something that came out during the time where I had nothing to watch, so I'd be like, oh, new episode, oh, new episode. So, you know, I was really stoked for it. I was like, hey, you know, this is kind of cool, like I can finally watch it again. But then I was waiting for like the last couple episodes of the season. Yeah, because season 1 is 12 episodes. So like after season 9, I was like, oh, Beagles and Lemurs, and I was like, all right, where's episode 10? Oh, they must took a break.
No episode 10.
Episode 11. Nope, no episode 10. No episode 10. And then I was like, oh, that's the that's the season finale? Because then I watched a commercial. It's like, oh yeah, the season finale. And I was like, what? It's like, that's only 9 episodes. So I don't know what is with shows with just doing 9 episodes. I don't know. It drives me nuts with odd numbers. I don't know why. It drives me nuts with odd numbers when it like people do shows only 9 episodes. Like, you know, Disney does that. You know, where it's like it's 9 episodes. It's like, just make it 10. Like, or, you know, put it in 8. Like, you know, I don't get it. Like, okay,
I'm okay with like 9 episodes if like the 9th episode is kind of like a special episode.
Makes sense.
You know, like 8 is the season
like
and 9
Sandman.
is the series. Yeah. Like I'm perfectly fine with that. I like that. I think like the funny thing is that this series does not hurt because of I definitely think that if this show was created about 20 years ago, back when like Community was the thing and all that stuff, it wouldn't have only 9 episodes. It would have 24 episodes each season, and it would be like a primetime show. Like, I definitely think this show is being hurt because of the flow of the blockbuster style of like game shows or so on and so forth now, because like this like it gains nothing for being only 9 episodes, but I think it hurts itself by being only 9 episodes. I don't know, that may just be me. So Austin, there is one thing I have about this season that is a negative. It's not negative. It's, you know, like we were mentioning it before. What show was it where we were like, it's clear that the people writing the show were older than what they were trying to portray? You know what I'm talking?
Yeah.
Because the writers of the show were doing jokes about animal things that they didn't understand or know of, nor did they do research into. The case in point, the episode that made me feel this way was the furry episode, when they get called to the furry house. And everyone, it's like automatically labeled off as a sex thing. Everyone's doing sexual stuff. They see like people kissing in the courtyard or something like that. And then like the one furry person is like rubbing up on Shred. And it's like, that's not that, like, that's how like old millennial, like that's how old people view furry as. That's what they think furry is. But it's like, no, it's not that. It can be that, like, don't get me wrong, it can be that, but it's not just that. And they're all actually very like protective of each other, like they won't make you feel uncomfortable. Because I live in Pittsburgh and Anthrocon is a thing here, and there will be days I'll go to work and it'll just be filled with furries, and they're the most kind and polite people you'll meet. They're also easily could take down the US government through cyber attacks if they wanted to, because they they control that. Like that's just
They've
who they
already done
are.
it before.
They're that mental thing. So like they're solid, they're nice people, and I don't understand like it was definitely a situation. It's like these people have heard of furries, they know the concept of them, but they're only doing jokes based upon the stereotypes of them and not the actual truth of them. And so it's like that's fine. I also laughed at the introduction of I almost said Jeff, Joe McHale's cat feeder, like the electronic cat feeder. She's like, how much did you pay for this? It's like, it's 100, but it's a great investment. And I nodded when he said that. I'm like, it is a great investment. Saves you a lot of time, and it keeps your cat from getting in your face, because she'll learn that you're not the one giving her food and she has to wait for it.
That part of that episode that I love the most is like, it's like, there's a cat camera, and it's like, you really invested in this cat? And he's like, no, it's just a couple things. And then like in the camera's like, who's a good boy?
Oh, you clean the bowl for me. It was good, because like the funny thing is, like whenever he started doing that, I'm like, that's how it happens, man. When you're alone with your pet, dude, you love them up. Also, the scene where he's just like, what does Keys want to find on the television? He starts turning, he's like, what's happening to me? It's like, yeah, nope, that's what happens. That's what you become.
Yeah, cat person.
But yeah, like, I mean, like the overarching story of this season with the whole like illegal smuggling of animals happening in the town, I liked it. I do have an issue with the series and how it ended, though. Currently, like, I know the new season's coming out here soon, and we'll probably dig more into that. But Austin, I have to say, what did you think about the ending? Because you said you had issues with it. Besides the 9 episodes, but it could be more.
Well, it's also too is like I'm okay with love romance, and I do, but I hate when I can see it coming from a mile away. It kind of like, it can irritate me a little bit, where it's like, like it kind of like propels this thing, and I hate it. I hate how like shows do that, where it propels that this person's having a good relationship, so this other person hates her for it, and then the roles get switched. And she had a good relationship, and she's messing it up to be with Shred. And then like, I was like, oh my gosh, I hate that, and then, I don't like episodes that do that, because it's just like, oh yeah, this is going to happen. Cause like I called that from a mile away. It's easy to like know that's going to happen. Cause you'll be like, all right, he's fallen in love with her. He found new girl. He likes this girl. She's going to start hating, what was it? Rick or whatever his name is. I was like, she's gonna start hating him, and that's exactly what happened. So like that was the only problem I really had with the series right now. Is I just think some of the
what's funny,
setups,
man, we hate it for different reasons. We both have different issues. Because Austin, I don't care for romance stuff. The funny thing is that I'm actually like a hopeless romantic in a lot of stuff, so I very much want those two to be together. However, I cared more about the plot of things than everything else. And there's one thing that I chimed into that I think they're going to go into the 3rd season. And that is the mole that is inside the police and animal control. And the reason why is they tried to wrap this up in a way that makes you think like, they caught the bad guy and things like that. Doesn't make sense. It doesn't all connect the dots. And there was a very specific and intentional story setup in the episode. I think it's the 8th episode, whenever they're going into it, that both Joe McHale's character and the boss's character both blab that they're doing their secret investigation on a animal smuggling thing to 2 people. And one was to Joe McHale's brother, and the other one was to her boyfriend, Rick, the ex person. Yeah. Then Rick just suddenly cancels his thing. He's like, oh, I have to go somewhere else. I have to do something else. And things go wrong. The sting that they were trying to set up falls apart. And what did they give him? The cat of Joe McHale's, like from Joe McHale. And they try to make you believe that the bad guy was the one who got the cat, and like that was the whole thing, right? But you know what should have been a red flag to them was whenever Joe McHale was going to, like, when they were busting him, and he's like, "Do you know who I am? I'm the one who did it." And he's like, "I don't know." And then he puts back his hair. "How about now?" He's like, "Oh, I don't know." He's like, I was and he like explained who he was. And he's like, "Can I go in the car now?" That should have been a red flag to him, because the people that they were connected with knew two things. One, that there was a bust going on, so they knew not to actually set it up. And two, they knew the person who was doing it was Joe McHale's character. That guy didn't know who Joe McHale was. There was no way he could have got his cat to do that. So I think what's probably going to happen in season 3 and what they're going to push is either it's going to be Joe McHale's brother is the crooked cop, and he's the one smuggling everything, or what I think is more likely for the drama aspect, it's going to be Rick is the person doing it. And whenever she like told him about it, that's whenever he got caught on, and he like stopped, because he knows Joe McHale's also on that. And you mentioned about the girl who like Shred likes, for sure. Like that's a cliche thing. Like guy likes girl, or girl likes guy. Guy's not into girl. Girl gets boyfriend. Guy loses girlfriend. Guy likes girl. Guy finds new girl. Girl likes guy still. Girl breaks up with it, and then it's like that. Because that's exactly what happened in Community with Troy. Annie, Troy, Annie, Britt. And Britt, like that, like kind of setup. So like, ooh, camera's on now. So that's just that was the thing. So at the end of the show, like I was frustrated because I'm like, is no one going to point out this obvious glaring issue of like this situation? Am I the only one? Like, are they trying, like, I thought they were going to do the like end of season like thing wherever someone's sitting there and like the girlfriend was going to find a letter to the one dude telling him not to go through with the thing, and that's when she was going to like realize like he's the person leading this, and that's how they were going to end the season in this cliffhanger. But they didn't, and I was like, they better do this next season or I'm gonna freaking go mad. Like, it doesn't make sense. But yeah, no, the series was great, man. I loved it a lot. It was fantastic. You're checked out now. You stopped.
Oh wait, no. Oh no. I sorry. Something that I read, just it kind of like.
It's okay. When you talk too, I kind of check out too. It's fine.
No, I totally listened to you about that. I really think when you were saying that, I actually believe that it might be Rick. They're pawning it over to think it's Joe McHale's brother. They seriously have. Like, that was the first instinct I went with. But after a while, I started thinking, I was like, well, that doesn't make sense because there's only 2 people that actually know about it. And it's Rick and it's Rick and, you know, Joe McHale's brother. But the problem that the thing that I picked up on was when Rick finds out that she's doing this thing with Joel, that's when everything starts getting exposed a little bit. Also, on top of that, how does the person know he has a cat? Like, that's the other thing I was going to bring up. And the only person that does know that is Rick, because Rick knows that because of the girl or whatever. But I don't know, because they're gonna lead into something like that because it's been like that for a while.
Yeah.
I will say this, that this season made it kind of more interactive, like with the characters that I like. Like the biggest thing that I will say is there was a lot of more character development, because we talked about this when we talked about the first season, about how you said it's really only Shred and Joe McHale and his boss like really deal. They kind of like got away with the hot vet or whatever. She hasn't been on there, and it looks like whoever the secretary was moved on to something else, so they got like a new secretary.
That was weird. I'm like, they didn't address that at all. They just kind of like they're like, yep, this is our secretary. I'm like, what happened to the last girl? They had the whole like episode where Joe McHale and her like dated, and then like she was the love interest for the one crazy guy.
Yeah.
And then like they rug pull that, and then shoehorn this thing that he likes the one girl.
Yeah.
And I was like, this feels like either the character left or the actress chose that she didn't want to come back for the next season, and then they just like, we have to make a new character love interest, so this would be funny, let's do this. But it's like, it doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense.
It did not. But I will say I did like the storyline about how she was getting her
Visa
citizenship.
revoked. Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool, and I also laughed about like when she got the job as the organist for the baseball. She's like, "Yeah, see in your face, old lady," and so you're gonna have to read all the books and rules about the baseball. It's just like, I'm not doing
No.
that.
For someone
really,
who
like,
for someone who learned how to become a U.S. citizen, she still has a lot of diversity to the book thought process, because I figure that would be the one thing that she had to do to enter the citizenship, is that they gave her like a book to do, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, it was it was a choice, I guess, and she lost that choice.
Yeah, I really liked her and Patel's like whole storyline this season, just because I thought the whole game of like the license plates were a lot of fun. I thought that was an interesting take, and they were like, we're gonna go to the RV park and stuff like that.
You know what that is, right?
That's no clue.
That's the genitalia showing game from Waiting. Like, that's what it is. That's how they pass time.
just with the license plates, they pass time. That makes sense. Yeah, I can see that.
Because that's what it is. It's just them, like, their internal game that they play to like survive their lives, essentially.
Yeah, that, and I will say my favorite episode this season has to be the last episode. I really enjoyed the last episode because of it was the episode with Kim, or Ken Jeong.
Oh, Ken, yeah, whenever he's the alpha male.
Yeah,
clicking.
Because I died when she was like, he's like, would you like to go out with me? And she's like, yes. And he's like, my mom is leaving early for this weekend. Like, oh no, he lives with his mom.
The funny thing is about that that character, right? Is one, it was a funny character. Two, I hate whenever characters like that exist in the world, because they're like, how are they like doing all this stuff and people just are not like obvious, like figuring him out like everyone else is. And so like whenever she's like falling for his tricks with the whole like that whole like pick me up moment, like when he's like pick me up, you're so good, and like I'm like, how is that not a red flag to any normal person that this guy does not know what, well, he does know what he's talking about. That's it. He's unstable. He does his job good. He's just unstable. So crazy.
Yeah, he's got some loose brainage.
It was good to see that very similar kind of character setup was the other side of that story, with the guy who was trying to go for a union rep. And he's like, he didn't get hit by a car. I saw everything. Like, it wasn't true. And he's like, oh, you wrong leg. And he runs up the stairs. It's like, people should see this. Like, this is, it's like this idea. But I do like the fact that it ends with Joe McHale not being angry at him, but rather like respecting it, like being like, good job. And like, he just accepts it. I'm like, okay, that makes it seem more lighthearted, because this evil person didn't get a position. It was, he did the same thing that Joe McHale was doing, just he did it better. And so makes it a little better in my head, at least.
Yeah, a little bit. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Little bit of my love too. Yeah, no, like, I like the show. I totally thought that they were going to have as a plot point in one episode Joe McHale's character asking the one girl to marry him to like let her keep her visa. I thought that was going to be a thing, and they even like make point to note that whenever on the episode at the end with the Panini Press episode, where she's like, I'm surprised you didn't. Well, no, not that episode. It was the season finale where she says, I'm surprised you didn't ask me to marry you for my green card. He's like, yeah, but the divorce would have been so messy. And that's it. And I'm just like, they're kidding each other. They're the Brita of this show. They're going to end up at some point.
Yeah.
It's totally a thing. Because Joe knows everything about her, but they don't want to do that. Oh well. What can you do? But do you know when the next season's coming out?
So the next episode, next season 1 episode airs in 3 days.
Oh, okay. So it's literally coming out next week.
Yeah, this week actually.
Oh, this week. This week. Oh,
yeah,
it's
second.
a Friday.
It's the second.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've been looking forward. I've been looking forward to that. And what's the other thing I've been looking forward to? Oh yeah, so there is a show I've been watching, and they're doing a crossover episode with another show. And I was like, oh my gosh, when I found out about it, I was like so happy. There's a show called Abbott Elementary, which I will make you watch soon.
Oh yeah, you told me about it. Yeah.
And they're doing a crossover with Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and they just released like a teaser for it. And I was like, oh my gosh, the gang's in the school. Like, and it's weird because that comedy, the Abbott Elementary is on ABC, so it's like, like tamed. And I was like, how are they gonna do it with like Always Sunny? Because it's not Always Sunny episode, it's a Abbott Elementary episode.
Yeah.
So they got to tame the gang there. So yeah,
it's much more simplistic and easier to kind of digest. Maybe it won't be as horrible. They won't be eating huffing paint chips. They may reference it, but not say stuff. Like, what's wrong with you? Do you eat paint chips? And then just the look on his face, like, oh, I do. But they don't say it, and so thus it's okay. And ABC's eyes. Maybe ABC's using this as the opportunity for them to finally go rogue and just become the new Comedy Central and just be crazy.
Just like whatever, we're bringing
anything for views. Do it.
History, drunk history. Bring it back.
Yeah, gosh, man, I want Drunk History to come back. That's one of those shows that I would love to come back.
Yeah.
Well, Austin.
So I forgot to tell you when I was zoning out there for a second when we were talking. The thing I read was Jimmy Carter died.
The president.
Yeah, he died. I didn't even know until now. Like, I just read something that popped up.
Yeah, he died today. Yeah,
that's rough.
Yeah, crazy stuff, man. What can you do?
Yeah, well, it happens to all of us.
Someday,
sooner or later.
Unless they can finally perfect those awesome downloading possibilities, so I can download my brain into the Steam and play my games indefinitely for the rest of my time. Achievement unlocked, one with the universe. Yep, that's good. Anyways, Austin, is there anything else you want to say about Animal Control season 2? Like, it was a good show. I kind of 100% feel that it's kind of getting screwed over with the only 9 episodes. I think it could have been a great series to have up to like 14 episodes. A couple bottleneck episodes would have been good too. Like, I think the cast is good. I enjoy a lot of the characters. It just feels bad that I feel like we're losing out on a lot of comedy hijinks that these shows normally have, but we don't get no more. So thanks, HBO, for doing that to us. Loved it for Game of Thrones, don't love it for this.
No,
prefer the other thing. So Austin, next week we are going to watch the series finale of What We Do in the Shadows. Rufferino, man, we gotta do it. Sad to see it go, but we love to watch it leave. No, it's sad to see it go, straight up. I love all the characters on it. I like it a lot. I'm wondering how they're going to finish it. I've heard some things, but nothing like definitive in the form of like what happens and what's going on. Just some plot points that I was confused about upon hearing, and then they said like it ends in a weird manner. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right, Austin. Well, if you have nothing else to thought or anything, solid.
No.
All right.
No. Season 3 is coming out, so we got a whole bunch of stuff coming up here soon because Castlevania comes out, like season 2 of that.
Some of the
Nocturnal.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, it comes out soon, and then there's a couple other shows that I forgot, like What We Do finished, and then I'm trying to think. Skeleton Crew's going on right now, and Creature Commandos are going on. So those are shows. So now we're doing What We Do in the Shadows.
All right. Yep. Next week. So thank you, Austin, so much for joining me on this episode of Birds and Shows, where we watch Animal Control Season 2. And thank you all so much out there for watching us today. We'll see you all next time when we watch What We Do in the Shadows. Thanks so much for stopping by, and thank you all so much for tuning in.